Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is episode 765. This is the Weed Nerd World, early edition. How y'all doing? Had a pretty good day myself. Just getting back from the gym. Looking to hang out for a little bit. This chat popped out. What's up, Riz? Sweet spirit at 111. No shit. Cheers to you. Listen to a little down in the background. So, Jay, cheers to you. Ganja Ghost. Just knock it off. Get ready to roll one up. Green fingers, high and fly. Miss you, dude. Gotta go to bed. No. It's Weed Nerd World. I'll roll one up. When the fuck am I rolling up? Believe some of this critical plus. I think it's critical. It is just. I thought it was plus. It's critical plus. Hi, Brent, buddy. Things are changing. Scarecrow 420, what's up? It smells good. A little berry kind of flavor smell. Ganja Ghost of Rick's Fish Pad. Man, it's long overdue to smoke this. I played that song, Rez. That's a show favorite. Mrs. Justin Meds. Cheers to you. I love that song. She's actually, that girl's got some pipes, Rez. And Ashlyn does. Great tune. Great tune. Bury me again. Man, how you guys feel about the Pantera reunion? Kind of excited myself. Canna Man Dan. Cheers to you. This critical smells really good. Really good. Really good. What are you guys smoking on? You need to check in, Scarecrow. Do you still got the fucking numbers? Shit, you're a long time past, guys. Should have that fucking entry number somewhere. I hope. Knock it off. Buttheads being buttheads behind me. Thanks. Yeah, knock it off. Bubs, tell them knock it off. You dogs are being buttheads tonight. I don't know if they like the early time. They're like, hey, wait a minute. It's usually quiet time around here this hour. Kush Mints and Lemon Jack. Chronic Skywalker. Both sound good. Grease Monkey. I got some of that Grease Monkey. I haven't tried it yet. Hoss Farms. Cheers to you. Wednesday nights, this is the new time for the Weed Nerd World. New time of day. T1000 times cherry lemonade. Sounds pretty good. Is that cherry lemonade? Oh, cherry lemonade gelato. I thought that was the cherry lemonade from Stubby had there. Brett's Barry smoking some Astro snaps. That's good shit right there. Cottonmouth Bro, nice to see you. It's pretty good. Pretty tasty there, B. Pretty tasty. A little bit of coffee. Mean Gene should hopefully be on. Hopefully, I need to check back in. Maybe next week. He was supposed to be last Thursday, and he was sick. So he said real soon. So hopefully this week or next week, Mean Gene will be back on. Oh, I see who's the cherry lemonade. Mean Gene is coming though. Love and plant. Cheers to you. How you doing this fine Wednesday evening? Kushmas tastes like black licorice. Nice. Dr. Green. You remember him from the other night? Cheers to you, my friend. The door is open for you guys. It is a weed nerd world. It's Critical Plus is pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Been knocking down that block of hash too. Buddy, quit being a butthead. Too riled up back there. Boy, Dugan, how you doing? Yeah, the Cushmans I have had isn't black licorice station either. You hit that very same link I got you the other day, Dr. Green. Same number. Just go ahead and click that link and you're right back here. I could join you tomorrow or Sunday night. Tomorrow may be a Weed Nerd World night. Guest for tomorrow night had to reschedule till Monday, I believe. So you may be able to do that, Scary Road 420. If you don't have the link, let me know and I'll make sure you get that. Ever had Jägermeister black licorice? Oof. Jägermeister got me in some trouble back in the day. I don't know if I want anything that reminds me of fucking Jägermeister. Uh-oh, what did I do? I have been putting away little work on that junk, brother. Good stuff too, by the way. Then maybe. All right, doctor. All right. I was actually thinking about indulging a little bit here in a second. Oh shit, your green finger's going. Oh, I just turned off my screen. Let green fingers in. I don't know if I want to do these or the headphones. It gets everybody in trouble. Fuck yeah, it does. I know what they told you, girl. Oh, green fingers, where you at? Give me the fish eye. There's the fish eye. Oh. There he is. What's up, man? What up, Mr. Green Fingers? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, check. I had you on the wrong. There's a clip. I found it. Fuck, it's right in front of me.
Buddy, knock it off.
Oh, wrong way. Fuck, I took the wrong way.
SFV Genetics, cheers to you. What you smoking on tonight, brother? You smoking on nothing, or you just don't want to answer?
I didn't know you were talking to me. I thought you were talking to SFV Genetics.
Oh,
whatever you said. Said something. I thought you were talking to them.
Cheers, Frank. Cheers. Frank says cheers to you too.
Frankie fingers, flippers, Frankie flippers. Cheers, laugh, laugh, laugh. That's all, Frankie. Cheers, bud. I'm smoking on something from Bud. E kilowatt with a question mark.
Nice.
Question mark, yeah. That meant I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, the straw nana question mark is pretty good. That one I think's the cheetah piss straw nana.
Could be.
Yeah, but I still had some of the other one, and I think it's the same. Well, I think it's the same. I had like one nug of it left. I was like, that's the same.
I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, I got it last week, and I put a post up, and then I just didn't tag him in it because that's sometimes fishy and shit nowadays with them blocking people, tagging. All that shit. Stop, guy. My dog's gonna start barking. Fucking Coco.
Are you smoking question mark too, buddy?
I'm smoking the question mark.
Well, I was just wondering, since you said it came from him, if you was smoking the question mark too. Valid question.
So how are you, Eagle? Everything good?
Yeah, no complaints. Complaints at the moment. Smoking a pretty tasty joint. Hanging out with some friends. I don't ask for much. That's as good as I need to be right there, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Some coffee. Good coffee. You didn't answer me though, buddy. What are you smoking on this evening?
I think this one is this pancakes. The rest of this one, I'm rolling up a fresh one of cheetah piss. Yeah. Yeah, I might. Well, let's see, less than 12 hours with like maybe 2-day notice of this whole endeavor I am embarking on, where Ego Clash is on Friday. That's this invite only thing up in Mendo from I don't even know Brandon or anything, but somehow he sent me a guest invite like 2 nights ago. I was originally flying out to North Carolina for music. Warren Haynes is a Christmas jam, but if you get an invite to the Ego Clash, it'd be stupid not to go. So, okay, I'm going to the Ego Clash, and I'm like carpooling or riding up there with the Ranch and a few other guys from my area right here. We're leaving at 7:30 in the morning, and then since the Ego Clash is Friday, and then the Emerald Cup thing is on Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, and we're coming back Monday. Now, this would have been a good thing if I had maybe even 2-week notice to get. Oh no, this is literally like I think Monday night. Monday night, I got the invite out of the blue. I wasn't planning or trying to even go to Ego Clash, but it's a cool thing. It's like I don't know if you know what it is, but it's like an invite only type event up in Mendocino at this property. It's a cup, hash, and flour and all that. The guy that made Skittles, Brandon, Big Dog, they call him. It's his event. So got a lot to do. Figure we'll be driving all day. So like I'm not a 7:30 in the morning guy, so we'll just do an all-nighter and then sleep in the car on the way up there. Yeah. So I'm one of those people that's a last minute person anyway. Like whatever I do, pack to go somewhere, it's like an hour before I leave. I'm not, my wife, she would pack like a week before. have a suitcase going. I'm the guy that waits till like 15 minutes before I'm leaving and throws some things in a bag and go.
What's up, Dr. Green? I'm going in.
What are you going in with? How much? One?
Quarter cookie. Quarter cookie.
Look huge.
Something.
There we go. Where am I? I'm not in there yet, huh?
Shoot.
You see me? Maybe
No,
not. Oh, start video. There we go. I gotta do this.
I can see you now.
Cool.
And
Hey,
your
guys.
your vocal, your mic is good and clear.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Nice to have you. How you doing tonight? What you smoking on?
Nothing yet, Eagle. I need to get some more. I got some Granddaddy Purple Gumberry again, but I got some more stuff that's on the way. So I'm gonna be smoking some. I'm excited for tomorrow. Super Silver Sour Diesel Haze, and I think it's. Hang on here. It's called Scooby Snacks. I can't. It's from Schism Selections. So pretty excited to have that coming tomorrow, and I got a bunch of different strains coming. So kind of getting tired of smoking the same weed, guys. You know how it is when you're getting low on your jar. So I'm doing okay, Eagle. I need a joint, brother. That was why I was gonna wait, because I'm not my usual super jovial yet, because I need some smoke. You guys understand? So, yeah, man. How are you guys?
Doing well, man. This joint's putting me in the right place. I just sent back a quarter of one of Marshall's chocolates there. One of his Psycho chocolates there. Pretty good, decent. So I should be okay here soon. Even better. I should be even better. Let's put it that way. I should be even better.
Oh, let me close this stuff down here. I don't need that. Eating up the man with. Where are you guys from? Oh, he's smoking. Never mind him. Sorry, man. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Same place. They're both from Cali. Different spots.
California. SoCal.
Yeah.
Right on.
SoCal. We're maybe 50 miles apart. Maybe a little more.
Right.
Something like that.
Maybe a little. Yeah, give or take.
Right on. Mr. Greenfingers, I love the name, brother. I saw you when you're on IG, and I thought, oh, can't call myself that.
Yeah. Thank you for the name. That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, he's the one and only Mr. Green Fingers. Green Fingers.
Yeah, an ex-girlfriend gave me that name before she was an ex-girlfriend. So it stuck.
He will answer to Kitty and Three Fingers as well.
I prefer Four Fingers because I'm the fourth. Robert William Trump. Well, I don't need to skip my whole name out, but yeah. 3 fingers, 4 fingers. Mr. Fister.
Go me, Eagle.
If you say it right, he'll answer to piece of meat.
I like to give you 2 fingers. Love, respect.
If you're wearing the right negligee and you're looking awful cute, you might answer too. Anything you ask him. I'm just kidding. Just teasing, bro.
Yeah.
I had to play off an Eagle. I had a visual in my head, you know. I thought, oh, that'd be funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So your plants are looking pretty good there, Green Fingers,
Oh,
from
shit.
what I've seen.
Thank you.
Yeah, what different kinds are they?
Well, I got a bunch of the stuff you gave me. So I got 2 Tinos. I don't remember the exact cross. The cookies, black wop cookies or
Yeah,
wop cookies. I don't even remember. But I wish I could. The pack's behind me.
those plants look good. I never really grew Tino's stuff, but I assume that's good.
Wop cookies, gelato 4 times purple doge. Fucking sick. They're getting big.
Yeah.
The Amy's Aces are getting fat.
Oh.
The ones you gave me, the
I
banana.
harvested my first Amy Aces like 3-4 days ago, and they're I wish I could.
You never ran them before?
No, it's the first time they finished in my setup,
Cool.
and they're drying and all that. Week more or so.
Thought everybody ran Amy already before me. Thought I was like one of the last to get her.
The green fingers, if you send that to a shot to her in a Tino, he'd love to see that. He loves to see his plants, shots of his plants. He'll put it up for you. He'll promote it.
All
But
right.
he just wants to see how his plants grow. He loves that purple doge. He was talking about it last night.
Yeah, that's him.
He's been really
Yeah.
happy about that whole line. He said it's really fire. So
That's
watch out for that, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just whatever beans he gave me, I threw a bunch of the ones he said for indoor. Then the outdoor ones I'm saving for outdoor. But yeah, my buddy hooked me up with all kinds of cool gear. So
Sweet, man.
he gave me
What
those
else you got
tinnies.
growing?
That was cool. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff, guys. If it goes well, let me know. If you want, I bought a whole pizza box full. And I love his weed, but I don't grow hydroponically and it doesn't do as well for me. You know what I mean? If I do a hydroponic run, I'm gonna run it. But because the morphogenetics of it, hey, there you go, Eagle. Morphogenetics, a new word. It's used to growing, or even the epigenetics, right? The inheritance is used to growing. He grows with hydro, right? He uses straight GH. Gets great results, man. Kicks ass. I just grow with I don't use GH, but I kind of use a hybrid. I use living soil, and then I just started to use Veg and Bloom Dirty. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Just a powder mix in. Very organic. I'm very careful what I put in my weed because I'm impatient, you know. So anyway,
Well, have you my experience would be that sometimes somebody's epigenetics isn't quite, but after you clone a couple cycles, if
exactly.
plants like acclimate into your methods, and then might start to show their true colors with your methods. But maybe the first cycle or two are still, epigenetically expecting GH.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, brother. Bud, well said. Please talk more about that, because that is wisdom right there, guys. That was awesome. Yeah.
People always have the patience to run the first time doesn't come out so good, so they stop there instead of running it a couple times to see how it acclimates.
There you go. And Bud, if I can use your words there while you're taking care of your joint, I'm going to be doing the same. Could we say safely then, with what you're saying, kind of to agree with that? Wouldn't we say plant might learn, right? Every time you grow it, maybe it learns to adapt, guys. Would that be fair to say? You guys are a lot more experienced than I am. I'm kind of a newbie, so.
And that different species of things have, the acclimation is faster or slower. Like cannabis is actually really pretty fast, a couple cycles, and it will start to acclimate. Where I don't know, I assume like some other plants and life, might take 10 years for it to acclimate. But cannabis, in my experience, like it acclimates. That's the epigenetics. That's what epigenetics is, right?
Yes, sir. Epigenetics. Yep. It's where the plants. Yeah. It's our influence on the plant and its influence on us, with the exception of the morphogenic, which actually tells you what shape the traits and everything are going to come out as. The epigenetics are more about the protein synthesis that it sets up. So in other words, it's like the epigenetics are more like, hey man, you're going to build a house, and I know you're going to need concrete and bricks, right? And the materials for building protein and cellular tissue, right? And the encoded, right? And what it's learned, Bud, like you said, what it learned in the last run, right? What it learned about powdery mildew, what it learned about adapting to Bud's environment, right? That gets encoded into that epigenetic sequence, like you're talking about. They say, this is a theory, Bud, and I wanted to throw this out. I didn't want to have to bring this up again, so we don't have to talk about this per se, but I do find it super interesting that like Bud could be growing, let's say, sour diesel, right? And the same strain even. He might send half the pack to Green Fingers, right, in his location. And they might even use the same newts, the same lights, right? They might have the same HPS, whatever they do, identical condition-wise. And they will grow totally different because Green Fingers has a unique energy to who he is as a human, and his consciousness is affecting the plant, and the plant's consciousness is impacting him. and they're co-joining in a journey called growing. And Bud, you would probably have seen this. I'm sure you have. Like you growing weed, like
my one partnership. It's only maybe 20 miles from here.
Sure.
That my partner, he used to work for me. So a lot of his methods similar, but there's a few things different.
Oh, for sure.
They like to push the food level, nutrient level. They push the CO2 level. That's their method. We grow the same strains. Even this ice cream cake that I've ran for like 5 years, when they run it there, it herms. But I've never seen it herm ever. Right?
There we go. Good
even
example.
a few of these other strains that we both grow the same. Way different. Even though the base technology is similar and the area is similar.
There you go.
No, totally.
Same nutrient program, Bud, or different?
No, they're on the same nutrients, but like I'm a less is more. I like to push all those.
I think that's it right there.
They're like on a larger scale than me, and they're all about overall numbers, okay? And
but can I ask you
their methods, right? And that's that. Now me, I move their stuff in my stuff, and even some of my more meticulous customers, they know, it's the same thing, like pancakes. It's my version or their version. On that surface, it's not that different. But like maybe it's just the ego of yourself. Like mine always seems stonier than theirs, even though sometimes theirs is cosmetically and bigger and puts on.
That's the morphology.
Not that they grow shitty wheat.
No.
But that pushing it seems to like, I don't know. Like I think a lot of these strains, the genetics are like, first class. They let them express themselves, not force them to be expressed. And a lot of times when you push all those parameters, you're like, that's what you're doing. You're like, you're forcing all those things where, if you back off and let the genetics do those things, like even a lot of these techniques like boosters, like 30, 50, this was like 30 years ago when like the genetics we grew was questionable or still not so undeveloped that those techniques were like needed to try to make a yield or make something good. So advanced, just let them do their thing. Like that's the thing with living soil. That's more that method, just allowing fully, because then the plants like dealing with the microbes and the extradites. I'm not good at pronouncing all this shit, but
that's okay. You got it. We know what you mean.
Doing it's all on its own, rather than like, the solutions and hydro or feeding a plant. You're like deciding what it needs when it needs it, right?
Right. Yeah. What do you think of that, Eagle?
And for the most part, my experience is I've come down to where my recipes maybe a third or a quarter of what like the recommended is. Like, I run things really pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And I get good results that way. I don't know about like, I've been the person that pushed all those numbers over the years. No. Plant doesn't need all that. It does need the basic shit though. Like you can't forget the micro and the macro and all those elements. It has to have all those to grow healthy. But even myself, when I make recipes, I always have a tendency to go, if it's, I always like add a little extra. It's like a weird human tendency, right?
Right. Yeah, you want to give it just a little more because that much was good. A little more might be better, right?
Actually, but if you naturally gave it a little less, you'd probably find yourself with better results. That's just my advice.
I've experienced the same thing, bud. Beautiful plants, brother. Tell us what we got going here. Eagle, if I'm over talking, let me know. I'm just excited to be here.
I know
it's pretty hard to hear you guys.
You can't outdo Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking big now? Shit. Now put me on the spot, right? Fucking A. All right, I'll start with this stuff
Great
over
to
here.
see you have
You
healthy
gave me-
plants going, Green Fingers. Those months with that everything was emptied was, I'm sure.
Here's the ones you gave me from your stuff, your accidental.
You're looking beautiful there, Mr. Green
What are they
Fingers. Tell us
called?
what you're doing. Yeah.
Banana God cross Mendo breath. Mendo?
I'll let
Yeah,
these boys
Mendo
up. I'll be
Probably
right
these
back.
gonna be
two.
good.
These two right here. And those are the Banana God crossed. Banana God. Those are probably my two favorite, but one's a boy. And the other one looks like it's a boy, but they both stink so bad. Fucking crazy.
Right on. Green Fingers, are those from Masonic's Papaya God? And another, like banana, black banana or something? I wonder what that cross is. Those are fire.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The Banana God, which was Masonics, I didn't pull a male out, and it seeded all my other stuff.
Oh, no.
Look at these
I've had
leaves.
great.
These are your OGs right here. OG
Oh,
banana. God.
man.
How big these
Beautiful,
fucking
brother.
got. It's bigger than my hand.
Dude, is that the Banana God?
Banana God crosses OG. Bud's OG.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
The one he's
Oh,
had around
Bud's
for
OG. That's Bud's
Buddy
cross.
Kilowatts, 13-year-old. It's not his. It's his. The one he keeps around for 13 years, I guess. How long have you had it, bud?
Wow. Oh, he looks like he
He's
stepped
gone.
out too.
I
So
just
he,
looked.
so
I just looked up at the same time because the lights reflecting off my shit. All these lights reflecting off of me.
nice
All
light,
the
brother.
lights.
What?
Got two lights.
What are
Two lights,
those?
3 fans. The Ion. Brought these Ion LED 720
Nice.
at
Fire,
60%.
bro. Perfect.
Fucking
Yep. Fucking dialed
Mm.
in.
2 lemon trees right here.
Lemon
Cross
tree.
Sky color. The Sky Colors cross lemon tree from Sun Grown Mids.
Oh,
My
really?
dog.
Not mean Gene, huh? Oh, puppy. Cute dog.
My baby.
Oh, what a sweet dog.
Mister. There's his daddy. He heard me talking and he was like, nope, give me attention, not him. Forget him.
Oh, I love those little terriers, buddy. What kind of dogs are those?
They're a little mix. Weiler Chihuahuas. They're supposed to look like that color, the Rottweiler colors, but they all came out mixed. This is the first batch. These two.
Oh, those two are cute, man.
Yeah, this one's one of my favorites right here. Little ugly.
Yeah, big old tooth, huh?
Yeah, so these are lemon trees coming through strong. Sky
Beautiful.
Color.
Is that Sky Cuddler? Is that green? Is that Mean Gene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful plant, I heard.
Yeah.
Beautiful
These
plant.
ones are getting big. One looks like it's a boy. SFVOG.
Oh yeah,
Cutting.
San Fernando Valley, huh?
Put some dirt on it now.
How do you like that? I love San Fernando Valley Kush. It's my favorite.
This one I haven't ran. This is the
One of
first time I got this one. My dog liked it. So he changed his mind. Going for the Tinos. Going for Tinos instead. Check it out. He didn't like the SFV. He said, fuck that. I'll take this one instead.
He's
Wants
over
the
there
lemon
with
tea,
Tino.
too. See which one. Yeah, he just wants that one. Cookies. It's crazy.
Purple Doge.
Yep, purple Doge.
Yeah, we were talking about last night.
I'm not sure. No, they look like they're not sexed yet.
No.
First day they look like. The other day they looked like they were all boys over here. 2 of them are over here. One of these.
Right.
Amy's aces right here is a boy. Got that little claw right there with the little white flower starting.
That's how you tell right there, huh? The claws.
I'm like, shit. So that's one Amy ace down. The other Amy ace right here. Looking fire though. Still. And these are the ones I already said. Banana God, cross Banana God. Look like a boy too. Well, this one doesn't look like a boy. I think it's this one. Can't even tell anymore. One's nice and dark purple with green stripes. There it is.
Okay,
There they
so did you plant them? Are you feeding them? Or is it just
I
in
give
the
them
soil?
CalMag and because I ran out of Epsom salt, of course. Otherwise, I just use that. But when I get back to the store, get some Epsom salt, and then I give them fish shit. from Fish Head Company.
There you go. It's a good product. Right
I
on.
gave him some fish, some dried up fish, ground it up. Some of it didn't get that ground up last night. Made bone meal the night before. Found a sprout right here. Something popping out of my soil.
So do you have that, brother? Do you have that thing watering your plants in the middle there? Is that what that is? That the black container? No, the black container in the middle. What do you said you had some fish in there, and then I see you leave it in there. What?
Yeah, that was for humidity.
For humidity. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Gotcha.
Put that one and that one in the corner. I put some water in.
Nice.
Just 2 inches in that one, and then by the end of the night it'll be gone. But
Sure, just to keep the humidity higher.
yeah, just to see how much they're sucking up through there. This one's impressive. The OG cross, like it was in here first in the bed, so it got way bigger than the rest of them, of course. But, forgot what this one was.
Is that
Gelato,
the OG bud?
31.
Oh, that's that purple Doge.
Oh no, this is the gelato though. The straight, I got the cutting of that one. But that's in the purple Doge, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's Gelato 41. Yes, it is. When I remember, I think that's what Tino mixed in it.
That's pretty. I'll be looking at the similarities, trying to figure stuff out when I'm growing everything brand new.
Mm-hmm. That gelato looks nice though, brother. That looks great.
This one here, Burberry. Fucking cutting too. And this guy right here with his mohawks. Wants a mohawk every day, little punk rocker.
Nice.
Yeah.
My Bobo's got the same thing. He's got that white right up the middle, a mohawk.
These are my favorite.
Right
here. These are my favorite. These are what I make. These are my little crosses that I fuck around with. That's why I'm biased.
What are those? What are those?
Well, those look like pretty stout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's genetics, man. Well, that's a hybrid vigor. It's because it's crossed so much shit together, so much hybrid shit.
Exactly. Right. You got a lot of leaf action going on.
Giant leaves from this one, and then you get barely any from these ones. But it's the same fucking, just the difference expresses so much. And you have so many hybrids crossed up. This one's special. The hairs, these little fucking shits are covered already. Like it's still sticky.
And balls? They look like balls.
They look like balls, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
It looks like a dude, man. Sorry, but that's what I saw. But am I imagining, Eagle? Those are nuts.
No, I thought I saw nuts.
No,
there too.
wait. Zoom in on it. Focus. Maybe they're just
so white.
Go further down, brother. The second.
Yeah, when you pull her down, man, right? I see nuts too.
Let me see. Oh yeah. No, well.
No, those are buds.
Hold it still.
Oh, maybe they're buds. I thought I saw some balls, man.
I did too there, so don't feel bad.
I did too. I was like, oh fuck, it's a male. But maybe it's not. No, those might just be buds.
Might have just been the way he was winging it around like that.
Sorry, bro.
No, I already pulled the boy out already. The boys are right here.
You and I both like.
No, these are all the boys. I already sexed these ones. That one I wanted to make it.
Hopefully, we didn't just jinx him, doctor.
It'll morph into a dude overnight, man. It'll start growing nuts.
And these showed right away what sex they were. Fucking.
If that's the case, Green Fingers, if we cursed it, man, I'll send you something.
Dude, I got 1,000 of these seeds right here. I don't have to worry about nothing.
What are they, bro? What is that cross?
Proprietary. No, I can't remember because they were mixed up. It's my person that had to get my stuff for me that I couldn't get back to. Put all my seeds in a couple of containers together without keeping them separated because they didn't realize I had them separated for a reason. So I got funked. My fault for not doing it myself.
I've been there before. I got a couple packs like that.
Got some chicken going. I gotta make sure I didn't burn it.
There you go. That's what I had tonight. I had Cuban chicken. Had a green olives, pineapple, garlic, onions, and peppers, and Famous Dave's sassy sauce, and you just throw that in a steam cooker. Blast it all for a good hour, Eagle. Nice and tender. Little mac and cheese on the side. Oh, you got to hit it with a bunch of yellow mustard too. That makes it real good. Doggone it.
You gotta hold everything on there, all the spices.
There you go.
Throw some mustard on there and then spice it up.
What's your favorite strain there, Mr. Greenfingers?
Who?
For smoking, not for concentrates. Maybe you got a different one for that.
Me?
Yeah. What do you like?
He said me.
Me?
I don't have a favorite. My stuff, I guess, because I'm fucking a lame and I just use my shit as medicine, really. But I haven't. It's just yeah. It was the Gorilla Glue heavy stuff is what I was. So it was like Grease Monkey was in that cross. There was Black Lamb Reserve too. So I don't know which ones. None of these could be that big one. I think it's the Black Lamb Reserve cross that I showed you guys. So that's exciting to see that one come back. Like, fuck yeah, if that's the one, I'll be able to smoke by the smell. But yeah, a couple of those sick ones I had back then. Citrus Sap cross with whatever Bootylicious and all those. That's some good ones from Exotic Genetics. I think they were good. I don't know.
I'd smoke it. I'll try anything. I'll grow anything and try anything. Isn't that the way it is? Shit.
Shit, I can only get what I could get through the dispos back in the day or the medical shops. So I'd buy the seeds from them right away. Whatever seeds they had. It's like, you got those? I'll get the fucking, let me get a pack. Get a pack. Every pack that I get, I take up. Just random shit. We didn't get much seeds back then. But,
yeah. Right on.
See, ordering online. I was not into ordering anything. I was like, I'd have my mom even pick up my soil for me and shit, and like have my girlfriends go pick up soil for me and all that kind of shit. And like, yeah, I was just paranoid about all the shit for no reason.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Well, I understand the scaredy cat.
Yeah, I used to go outside. I used to go outside and it was like helicopters fly over. They can't notice that it's fucking cannabis. Like they don't, not when they're not looking in the backyard with looking trees all around it and shit. It's fucking, I was able to just hide in the backyard too. Just paranoid.
Right.
You know? It's like, oh shit, they're looking for me. No, they're going to the car accident down the way. They're just getting some news. They want to see what's going on too. Shit. Like, yeah, they won't worry about us growing weed out there in the middle of the desert.
You know, the other thing too, it seems to be that I started thinking about this a minute ago. You know, what's the likelihood of the chance, unless they're tipped off, of even in you know, let's say just a small municipality or whatever, like in Michigan or, you know, somewhere else. What the hell are the chances of anyone knowing you're growing if you've got proper filtration, your tents, you know, your tent and your stuff, right? I mean, you know what I mean, Eagle? Like, well, like, you know, blood might. I mean,
if I looked at my bill and then averaged it out against the neighbors, because they usually will tell you, you know what I mean? So if everybody else's bill was like mine, I would be like,
well, that's another conversation is the electric bill, but I keep my stuff on LEDs. I run really efficient shit for that reason, you know. For obvious reasons, but anyway.
Sometimes sometimes
the
filters do get sometimes you get either the filters get to that point or you just get a super loud strain and you get numb to it, you know, especially if you know, you get a friend that comes over and it's like, hey, wow. Got you as soon as I got out of the car. And you're like, oh shit, time for a new filter.
I think maybe it's time for a new filter because my wife is like, it's really smelly out there.
It happens.
You know. How do you know though? That's a good question for the guys in here. How do you know when you need a new fucking carbon filter? How can you tell? Not obviously, but what are the other signs, huh?
Asking the wrong dude. I have fucking power washed mine, cleaned them, and used them again. I've stacked them, power washed and stacked them for another round.
You mean like two on top of each
I've
other?
had them 3 high, brother, before I've had. I'm like, yep, they're finally done. They're gonna mix it, drag that carbon out into the yard and rake it out and stomp that aluminum down and start over. Yeah.
You mean you put carbon back in them? You mean like?
Oh, you can buy you can buy activated carbon and repack them again. But no, I mean, I just like rake that shit out into my yard. Just
into your yard.
take that
you sprayed them
collar off and take it outside and just shake it out.
Oh, that's what you did. Got
it. And give that to the yard. Give that carbon to the yard.
Yeah.
But I use them a few times, but once a year is usually a good rule of thumb, depending on the size, and size matters. Well, there's a couple of factors that really matter here, Doc. Yeah. Size, fan, and well, those two right there, size and fan, because you can have a good size filter, but oversize your fan so it's like pulling too much too fast, you know what I mean? It kind of takes some days off. You really want to make sure the fan and the filter really match, you know.
Right.
And then even at
6-inch fan with a 6-inch filter, right?
Well, because you can go 6 inch short, you know what I mean? You can do a 6-inch 20, you can do a 6-inch 3 foot. What are we talking here? So
well, let's say a 20-inch.
Okay, 20-inch. I would,
6-inch. What would you use for? You have a 6-inch carbon filter, 20-inch long, and then you got
6 months, year, maybe 20.
Yeah, but for a 5x5 and a 4x2, probably a year tops, huh? Yeah. Well, I think that thing's about 2 years old.
There you go.
All right. Well,
I've even taken them outside very before that power washing and flipped the fan around and blew them out for a period if they're being sucked in. Cheap like that.
Well, they're not as bad now as they probably were before. I bet they were real expensive back then. Oh, we lost him. Lost your guy.
We've been talking on the phone for the last few.
Yeah, he's probably got something going down. So, what are you guys growing now for what are you guys using now for nutrients? I'm curious, guys. I'd like to kind of talk about that. What do you guys use? What's your old, like, if I said, all right, I know that you're using Epsom salts, right? And then you said, dude, what else was he using? Oh, fish shit, right?
Oh, me? Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Greenfingers. Mr. Greenfingers.
Don't make his head get any bigger. Don't act that doctor to the holy shoot.
What was that?
I gotta let these dogs in. I'll be right back.
I'm so high that kelp. I used because I have it right now. I have that liquid karma or whatever. Just finishing that off. I don't like it. I'm just using it because it's what's in the room.
Yeah, gotcha.
Once that's done, I have a G10 or is it G18, whatever from Humboldt. I don't know what is it. It's freaking the same shit. Kelp hydrolysate or some shit. I'm not even sure. It's just in the room too. And the guy who came before me, I got all his nukes and all his stuff because he stopped coming here. And yeah, so I'm just trying to do all the shit using whatever leftovers I got.
Gotcha.
But I made my bone meal the other day. Bone meal and fish meal. Just ground it up, put it in the oven. Put it in the oven. Did I lock my dog out? Hold on. Let me take you guys with me. Lock my dog out.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah, so I made bone meal and fish meal yesterday, the day before that. That's everything I've added for bananas, banana peels, and some dumb dogs and eggshells and the vinegar.
In the soil.
So yeah, I added a little fucking dog and he's gonna do it. He's a brat. Yeah, I'm making chicken, so they want chicken.
Of course they do. They smell it, don't they? So you seem to have some pretty healthy plants, though. They seem like
I'm
they're
trying to tell you guys this compost thing my mom got me because she's tired of me stacking fucking all the eggshells and everything on the side of the stove. When she comes over, she's like, "You throwing that shit away?" I'm like, "No, give me a fucking bucket or something." She's like, "All right." She looked it up and got me this little thing. It's got a charcoal filter, so you don't smell it.
There you go.
My little shit in there. Save everything.
There you go. Nice.
Till I use it. So I got some bones down under there somewhere too. I'll separate everything when I need whatever I think I need. That's just for now, just a little keep it kind of more contained instead of so messy like I usually like most potheads. Not most.
Hey, bud.
I'm pretty messy.
I brought Buddy back with me.
Yeah, he was just showing us his compost. Nice, man. That's kind of nice, Green Fingers. Yeah, he was talking about adding natural. He has a lot of natural stuff. That's really cool. He has banana peel. He said he does his bone meal and fish meal, and then he does some apple cider vinegar, which is interesting because that's also, it breaks down the bone meal, right? But it also
what do you use the apple cider for? I've never heard that.
It's a cleanser. It's a natural cleanser. It'll IPM. It's an IPM, but it does so many things. It's a Korean natural farming input. You can use it on right in your water. It has a cleansing and an IPM effect, but it also does. I think it stimulates hormones. I think it stimulates auxin activity, but I could be wrong. Maybe Greenfinger knows.
I don't know.
Not absolutely certain.
On those last two plants, the ones I was showing everybody. Oh shit, my stickers fell. The Eagle stickers.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I see it per thumb there. I've used white vinegar for a pH down, but I've never used cider vinegar for. That's why I was like, huh? I've never. I know it's good for us. Super good for us.
It is. It's the same with us. It helps with the kind of the biome of the plant, but it helps with the uptake of nutrients, right? I know that like brown rice vinegar, you mix brown rice vinegar, it's called OHN. And it's there's OHN and there's brown rice vinegar. It's not called OHN, my mistake. OHN is one of those same kind of nutrients. So there's Korean natural farming, Eagle, and it's a method, right, that you use natural available things like the banana peel. Like he's actually practicing KNF and what he's doing with the bone meal but he's not fermenting stuff. So it's a way of ferment.
Yeah. Exactly. I learned from watching Chris Trump back in the day. I just didn't want to implement all that shit, but I used to do that and try it. And then something would mess up a bucket because I live out in the desert. So some stuff would get too hot. Fast, and then I'd be like, fuck, did I do something wrong? Throw it in the garden anyways, whatever.
So. Yeah, I just dumped a bunch of my KNF experiments from 2 years ago in my soil over here because I asked the KNF guy, I said, what do I do with all this stuff? It's half done. He goes, put in the soil. It'll still work good. So I have a bunch of licorice root. I have a bunch of what was I making? I was trying to make all the same things at once. Good lesson for those of us, to do one thing at a time. Go ahead, bro.
There's got to be some good microbes there as well to that mother. Well, if it's a good apple cider vinegar with mother, right? Because
it has to have the mother in it. You're right. Yes, it does.
The loogie
to activate it.
Exactly.
The loogie.
The loogie in the bottom. That's what everybody thinks. They're like, dude, it's just bad. I'm like, no, that's the good one, dude. Get the good one with the loogie. They're like, all right.
That's right.
I'm like even looking at the bottom, like for more, the more the better. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good bottom.
Right. If I could look, I can look it up on my phone.
It took me so long to get past that, especially in the kombucha. There to fucking chug that down, just like get down to the last little bit. You can see it all floating in there. You're like, it just seems so raw.
Dude, right?
I had a girlfriend who threw that shit up right in my car, like fucking. I was like, dude, drank it down. She didn't know that was coming. Fucking
barfed it up.
Right back up, and I was like, dude, throw that fucking mat out. We're just gonna leave that one out. Just throw that fucking floor mat.
I could take bets. can take Betsy Eagle whether she was a spitter or not.
Yeah.
Right. You got that one.
I tell you what, man, I went into Myers, my local
Sorry, G, I
Myers,
couldn't help it. I had to say it.
and
Sorry, bro.
their selection in kombucha is like Christmas to me. I've never seen it such a wide selection
Right.
of. Oh man,
I
do
know.
you drink it yourself or?
I did. I used to make it.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. So I can tell you real quick. It's really good for you. You guys probably know how to make it, but it's very simple. All it involves is making black tea, or you can use green tea. You can use any kind of tea, but it needs to be leaf tea, and you boil it like you normally make tea, and then you add a bunch of cane sugar to it. You want it to be brown sugar or cane sugar. It's same thing, but they just use the names as marketing schemes. But so don't be fooled by that. Light brown sugar works just as well as dark brown sugar. Don't overpay for organic sugar. That's a bunch of nonsense, guys. Like anything that says organic is a lie, but I'm just telling you. So it's just a reality. I know the people that put the stamps on and the certification for that started that process. I know the people. They told me that. So you tell me. But it can be considered organic legally by certain laws and this and that, or so they call it organic. But all the people that are buying food at Whole Foods, just saying. Oh, I did. Sorry, Eagle. I had to say it. Anyways, they're paying a lot of money for convenience. God bless them. They're trying to save the environment. But now, coming back. Sorry, we got off topic. What the hell was the question? KNF. So KNF is cool stuff. But sorry, I'm kind of babbling here, but I think we were talking about using natural inputs. The fermentation of it breaks it down, and then you can also use alcohol to store it. And natural farming, the Korean natural farming, or Jadam, is even more effective and cheaper. It's another advanced science of that by the son of the guy who came up with KNF. People didn't know that. There's nothing cheaper than growing organically with KNF. No one can argue that. It's 96% Eagle cheaper than growing with any kind of other inputs, because you make it all right there. Now, but I will say this: it's minus 30 to 50% you have to pay back for the labor. This labor intensive, right? Green Fingers, he's nodding. And looks like Bud probably knows. He's probably made that stuff. I don't know. It's a pain in the ass, guys. Unless you got time and you're a full-time grower, you don't have time to do KNF unless you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
Just saying. Because it takes daily fucking around and with your little lab experiments, otherwise you're going to have some biology you don't want. Trust me, I got like 10 canisters over there. I don't know what to do with their Eagle. They're only dollar store canisters, but damn, I'm cheap. I want to reuse them, and they're all full of garbage and shit. Anyway, so I'm gonna look up the KNF thing. I'm being stoned. That's what I was doing. I was gonna look up apple cider vinegar and what it does for us. So I don't have to. But you guys go on ahead and change the topic if you want. I just think it's pretty interesting how we can use natural inputs to help. Like I'd love to hear from Green Fingers. He knows. How are you doing your bone meal, brother? Tell us how you're doing that. That was interesting. When you're done with that good hit.
You get the meat off the bone first, for sure. All the meat has to be off your bone. So you get all that meat off your bone, however you do it. And then you put it in the boil it, make some stock, save that stock, take the bones out. You can do whatever you want. You can throw the stock away. I don't care. It's not mine. I save it, make some soup. But then you get the bones. Then you turn that into you wash it off, make sure all the meat is really off. And then you throw it in the oven for 50 minutes, 400 degrees, pull it out, put it in the grinder, grind it. I just didn't have a grinder, so I used the bag and a hammer, and I hammered the hell out of it. Worked pretty good.
Oh, did it? All right. And you throw it right in the soil, just like that, or do you?
I put it in the water.
Vinegar?
Put it in water after, and then let it sit until all the water turns brown, like light brown, because it should be a nice golden color by the time you're done. Yeah, it should
There
be
you
nice.
go.
Water that right down the trench in the middle of the plants in that pot.
Oh, I bet they love it.
Yeah, did the same with the fish. Same, well, not the same because you don't boil it. You dry it, then bake it again to make sure it's baked. Because I dried it outside first in the sun. Then I dried it in the oven
Nice.
to make sure it was all dry. And I used sardines for that one just because I had it in the house. So
Nice.
got the bones in there and everything too, and all the little organs and that shit because they eat the whole fish. So got all
Mhm.
that extra shit in there. Baked it for
No.
400, pulled it out, crushed it up, put it in the water, poured it in the trench, and that was it. Just root drenched. Kind
Mhm.
of shit I used to do back in the day when I lived at my grandma's because the store was all I would go from. Like, I'm just gonna go to the store for my stuff. Get the mother's, the what is it, grandmother's molasses or whatever
Mothers.
that brand is.
Oh,
Mother's molasses. The molasses. I don't
okay.
even know what brand it is. One molasses, one sugar, and then I get milk, powdered milk, and I'd spray that over the leaves. Fucking do all that shit. Kind
Nice.
of goofy shit back then, bro. I used to do all kinds of goofy shit.
How did it work though?
It worked though, right? But still, I feel like
Yeah.
somebody else can make that shit for you. And but you can do it yourself at home. It's for dollars. Like that's all it cost me. I was cheap. I didn't want to waste my money on nothing but weed and weed stuff. So I'm like, yeah,
Yep. So it facilitates, it's a cleaner that, so apple rice vinegar or apple cider vinegar, I use it to replace brown rice vinegar in K&F. You can use the same thing. It cleans, let's see, what did it say? Hang on. I hate it because you open it to the article, then you got to find it in the article where it says here a synopsis and see whatever. Let's see. Oh, so here's what it says: brown rice vinegar or apple cider vinegar is what I'm using in this example. Same, does the same thing. This is a cleanser that facilitates vegetative growth. It helps the plant to be resistant to insects and diseases and restrain pathogenic bacteria growth. Oh, hey, I got some of that right anyway. Shit. Uh, Boy, the old brain. Well, I'm a stoner. I don't remember anything. Yeah, you see that? I had to mess with the eagle. It helps the plant to be resistant to insects. Oh, you're in there. It is made by fermenting ripe fruits or grains with water to produce vinegar. That's why apple cider vinegar, right, guys, is the same concept, right? It's just vinegar. It's brown. It's rice versus apples. It's the same thing. As long as it's ripening fruit or grain, it's the same thing. You could actually do it with. You could make what's the grain they use for alcohol or for beer, right? All the time. What do they call it? Oh, barley, like barley grain, right? You could do barley. You could do a barley rice vinegar if you wanted, or anything that's a grain, I guess. Um, so there you go.
oh,
It's a cleanser. Yep. Yep. And it's also an input when you're making other things too, like uh water soluble calcium. You guys ever heard of that? That's another way with your eggshells, brother. I wanted to tell you what you probably already know this, but if you take apple cider vinegar, guys, and you take eggshells like you've been collecting, right, and you bake them in the oven, and you make
yep.
sure that inner thing
Pull
is
that out.
gone,
Yep.
yeah,
That
pull them right
membrane.
out.
Pull that
Exactly.
inner
Or
membrane
else,
out. That shit
yep,
stinks.
it stinks.
Yeah.
That inner membrane, either that or you can bake it out of the oven or on a pan
Yep.
outside and let the wind blow it away like chaff. Yeah, that works too. But yeah, you want to get rid of all that crap because that protein will fuck up your mix. And then you take calcium, then you take those shells and you put them in a mason jar, and you fill a mason jar half up with about half as much with as as much as as much as the eggshells you have, fill it twice as much with apple cider vinegar, and it'll start to activate. And you've seen that, right? It starts bubbling like a science experiment.
Yeah. Starts to
It's
bubble up.
Yeah, it's right. And then you just
Then
cover
it's
it.
working. Yeah.
Yep, cover it with a coffee filter and a rubber band for 2 weeks. Put it in the dark, and as soon as it's actually, as soon as that's done, 2 weeks from now, it'll turn that golden color like you're talking about, green fingers, and you're ready to rock. And you mix it in 1 to 1,000, I think, or 1 to 500 with water. That's how powerful it is, Eagle. So this is stuff we normally would throw away. There is not a that is water soluble calcium. You actually use it as a foliar. Okay, you spray it on the plant, and it calcium is I believe it is a immovable, it is right, brother? It's the immovable ingredient it's the immovable, one of the 17 nutrients. The plant can't move calcium around, so it needs to get it from the outside. It can't transport it. Like if your roots need calcium in your pot plant, good luck. If it doesn't get it by the foliar or sprayed on it, it ain't getting it. Exactly. It will not move up the stalk. So that's why that calcium that you spray on it, water soluble calcium, which means it goes right into the stomata, right, Eagle? It goes right down into the plant, into the cellular tissue. And guess what? Calcium then releases the other 16 nutrients. So if you have lockout, you spray water soluble calcium on as a foliar, your plant will gone. Lockout's done. Starts to process it again. You know, fucking around with, I had to do a root drench and then I had to do this. It's like, man, just get some water soluble calcium and spray your foliar, and don't let it sit under the lights, right? You can't do it underneath the recline. You pull it out into the room and spray it right into your room and let it dry all the way. So the only thing I'll warn you, don't ever spray water soluble calcium and leave your plants even a little bit wet and put them underneath intense light, because they will burn.
Yeah.
All right. So, brother, did I screw that up, Green Fingers? Is there anything in there that
you're right on all that? Yeah.
Sweet. And I hope
my plants last year pretty bad. I fucking forgot, and I had 1,000 watts when I had the 1,000 watt in there, the HPS. Burned the shit out of them. Fried everything.
Did you?
Fried every fucking thing. I had no leaves left down there, just buds, like a little bit of, not even buds, because it wasn't even budding yet. Fucking just little stems where the buds would have been starting the flowers. But I was like, fuck, dude. I reset like right away, but I had clones, so it was cool. But nobody even noticed on the show. I didn't tell nobody. Like, I didn't tell nobody. I burned everything to death. Fuck. Yeah.
Been there. I've been there, Green. You know what? One time I had, I didn't know what I had, Eagle. I was a newbie and I just started cloning, right? And so I started cloning this gelato OG because I really loved it. Now people are like, gelato, but I'll say this. If you have a good weed plant and it's good, right? And it's good and medicinal and it's real funky and it tastes turkey and it's good shit. You don't go, well, is that gelato? Back in the day, you were just like, damn, that's good weed. Let's roll it up and smoke it, right, Eagle? You didn't go, oh, that's gelato. That's just hybrid. I don't want that. I mean, look at us now. We're these fucking snobs, right? Like, well, where's that gelato 41 from? Like, I go, dude, is it good weed? Is it good fucking weed? Well, I don't know. But this is what I say. That gelato OG that I had was fire. I'm telling you, from seedsman. It was crazy, guys. It would get terps when it was growing in flower. It would get terps just before you chopped it that were like clementines and fucking red vine licorice. Eagle. A gelato, I swear to you. And it was the most beautiful purple plant. And I live up where it's cold in the North Pole. And what I was getting at, guys, I cloned that sucker 100 times, right? And I got thrips so bad, Green Fingers. It looked like people were painting silver on my fucking leaves, Eagle. I'm like, what is this? I was a new grower. I didn't know. I'm like, what's going on with my plants? And they were all small, and looking all shitty, and they got all infested. I didn't know what thrips were. I didn't even know what they were. And they just ate my shit alive. And, but I smoked it. Oh, God. God save me. But anyway, that's my embarrassing growing story. I learned from that. I had to throw out all my soil and start all over again. But anyway, I'm doing too much yakking. Fuck, somebody else talk. Bud, what's good? Oh, muted. You're muted, Mr. Bud.
Just going through, packing up weed for the next 4 days.
Where you headed? Oh,
Ego Clash and the Emerald Cut. So 3 days. Ego Clash is cannabis event thrown by third gen family
Nice.
up in Mendo. I don't know how many years he's done it. It's like invite only. It's like a heady boy thing up north.
Nice. Like
then
all buddies, huh?
I don't know how to describe it. It's a cool thing. Mainly hash and
Ah,
flower too.
nice.
And then the Emerald Harvest Ball on Saturday and Sunday in Santa Rosa.
Yeah. What's your favorite
California's big weekend of cannabis events.
Gotcha. What's your favorite Emerald Cup story there, bud? You got a good one?
Well, yeah, the ones 10 years ago when it was the real Emerald Cup, or 8 years ago. Yeah, not really down with the current Emerald Cup situation.
That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear it. I don't know anything about it.
I'm a legacy operator, black market outlaw. The Emerald Cup is 1,000% legal cannabis, and
I feel you.
that's all it's about. Like, you can't even have a booth unless you have a license.
Fucked up bullshit. Yep. No, I feel you, my guy. As you can tell, I didn't. I'm not running in the white either, by the way, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bud might be my uncle. You get it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, Eagle knows. I'm just careful because of that. I'll just say that. I ain't got to explain that to nobody. They all understand. Yeah. Fuck, I think I'm out of papers. Looks like I'm doing bong rips, fellers. Yeah. Phew, good thing I cleaned the bong. Well, I cleaned that. I didn't clean the bong. Oh well.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I've gone to a cannabis event since like 2017. I used to have booths at all these events for years, and then I don't know. But this is like, I'm going with a group of people that are going to all 3 events. So, all right, I'm going along with them. Actually, the tickets we get for the Harvest Ball, remember last year with Trevor and Masonic and a bunch of people where the security took their weed away from them, and there was this whole debacle over that.
Yeah, well, what was that about?
To make it up to them, they've like given certain people like a bunch of free tickets, and so like that's one of the tickets I'm using, because like when this plan came about, Eagle Clash is free, it's invite only, you don't pay. But like when the group of us like, I'm like, well, one thing for sure, no matter what, I'm not paying to go to the Harvest Ball. Like, that's against my principles.
Attaboy. Hey, I love an OG. If I can tell you guys, it's funny, an old story about my grandpa. You appreciate this one, bud. He's was a little older than you, but he was back in the days of Prohibition, right? 3 fingers when they were illegal in Brainerd, Minnesota, where he was from. He had a dry cleaning business that was his beard, and then he ran a still out of his basement there, bud. And his wife was the head of the temperance movement, and she would have temperance meetings. My grandma would have temperance meetings in the rooms above the fucking distillery, and he would run the liquor out of it. Isn't that great, bud? He'd run the liquor right out of it.
That's what America was built on, right?
Yeah, baby, you fucking know it, man. So I got OG in my blood. That's all. I respect you, bud, and I want you to know I can't say nothing out loud, but you already figure out I'm with you on that. You know what side I'm running on. So
I'll just tell you what I see. Like, first off, I wasn't there, but at that Legends of Hash, which is another invite only thing in LA.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that was last weekend. The person that won got punched by some beef he had with somebody else. And then I guess a knife got pulled out, and then
man,
police got called.
Bummer.
So like, the tensions were hot. then I've heard all this drama about whatever happened at the Cowboy Cup in Oklahoma this weekend, right? Obviously, like drama, tension, full moon, I don't know, Mercury retrograde, blame it on what you want.
Right.
California, wait, we have the Ego Clash, which is already, just the name of it tells you a lot about what goes on there. And then you go into the harvest fall when like actual cannabis in the industry is collapsing and there's all these issues and the tensions are hotter than they've ever been. People are losing money and all that. So somehow it would be a miracle if this weekend goes by in California without some major drama go down.
Right on.
Just because it seems like drama's
tensions are so high. Yeah.
Michigan seems to have events without drama, but it seems like the drama's happening everywhere else.
Sometimes we do. I don't know, man. The last one I was at was awesome. There wasn't drama at the other one either, but I've only been to a couple of in Michigan here. I went to the Organic Cup.
The way things are gonna be, Eagles are gonna start getting in the fucking way and fucking ruin the cup for fucking 10, 20,000 fucking people.
Right on. Well, brother, it's interesting. Oh, hey, Eagle, just a side note, I'll fill you in on more off the record a bit. Just so we don't have the Eagles bouncing, right, bud? This is a way I prevent it by not talking about it. But hey, I wanted to tell you that Eagle, that there was some repair. I'm really happy about that. That thing we were talking about the other time, kind of getting healed up a bit and started that process. Yeah, it was I think it was more of an ego thing. There we go, ego. You know, because some of it honestly, bud, was my hurt pride because, you know, I felt like I put in some work and I kind of got just kind of kicked away, but it don't matter. But it was more about ego, guys. That's what I was trying to make the point of. I'm not calling out I ain't throwing no shade. That ain't what I'm talking about. Ego, you know me, that I never do that. That's not why. I'm bringing up a point about that our egos, even no matter how good our intentions, can get in the way, you know. And that's what I was. Yeah.
Here's Ryan. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Doctor.
No, brother, you didn't cut me off. I was done. I do too much talking tonight anyway.
And if Ryan, it isn't the ego part that gets it messy, it's the money part.
Yeah.
You know.
Ryan, that looked nice, bro. Let's see that. Hey, dog.
Happy 420.
How you doing?
Cheers. Happy 420.
Cheers. Right on. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I'll come on here. There you go. I'm just rolling, enjoying. How you doing, brother?
I'm
eating. Actually.
I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me eat real quick. So
no, eat up, brother.
That chocolate hit my stomach wrong. I had to put something on it.
That looks nice. What do you got there, Rye?
We'll get some GMO.
Nice. I love GMO. I got some GMO coming. I'm excited. Yep. That's one thing have you any of you guys grown out Don Magic Wand by Masonic? I have. I got it in my crosses. It's really good cross. Anyway. Got that GMO.
That Masonic, but I've grown about 10 other Masonics and yeah.
Fire, right? Good stuff.
Yeah.
I've had great results with Edgar stuff.
Edgar rocks.
He rocks, man. Yeah, he's always been really cool to me too. I met him at the Gene Traders. He's always been really kind. He's a cool dude. I dig him. I know people, whatever, but I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
solid. I was up at the shop on Sunday because Kaya from Northwest Roots did a pop-up there. And I never met Kaya, but I feel kindred vibes with him over the years. And yeah, it was a good hangout. And
dope.
The shop on the Fairfax is a cool place. Actually, like Mace and a couple people. We were out front, like talking or smoking or whatever, and this people walk up. Now, I don't speak Spanish, so I only could catch part of what the conversation was. But no, the reality was they were from Jalisco, Mexico, and I think it was like the brother and sister, and they're growers, uh, uh, and they weren't up in LA just to come by Masonic shop, but since they were up in LA, they came in, and it was like they knew everybody because they follow the Instagram and all that stuff. And yeah, like when we were talking to them, like they were explaining that, oh, they can only grow like a relatively small garden. If they grew any more, then they'd have to pay the narcos. But if you grow like just a sort of personal garden, then you don't have to pay them, you know. And I was thinking, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I mean,
Fucking narcos, fucking pig. Sorry, I ate a man. Uh,
well, but no, you'd have like, you know, I know kind of what's going on down there.
yeah,
Yeah, weed's legal now, but they didn't have the government make tax laws and all these things like here because they
right.
don't need to, because the you know, the cartel, narco, whatever you want to call it, they
Mhm.
already had a system in place, and that works
Right.
fine. And so nothing changes
Yeah.
as far as that. It's not like the government said, oh, 20% tax. No, the tax is
Right.
already with the
Hey, the narcos.
yeah, they run the whole country. They run everything down there anyway. So
Yeah, they do.
I
That's
mean,
never changed.
the truth is our country's sort of the same way. We just we
Yeah,
hide
we
it
do.
better,
Yeah,
right?
we do. Yeah.
Our,
Right?
they deny, they act like they're on both sides of it here, right?
Exactly. Right on. And there's a book, guys, if you want to ever read what we're I really challenge everyone to read a book called Financial Tyranny. It's free online. And it's by a guy named David Wilcock. Cock. Unfortunate last name, but easy to remember, right? Wilcock. Anyway, it's a book about the financial system we're under. The facts. It's not a bunch of conspiratorial nonsense. It's actually the facts, right? And it's backed up. He's been threatened with his life, right? Many times, but right? About what's going on in the country. It's cool. Yeah, it's a great book. You should read it. Check it out. You don't get any heat from reading it because no one cares because it's free. And the site's not monitored. It's the Cure site. So you just type it in and you'll find it. But everyone should read that. You can't change a damn thing about it because you don't have the money and the influence. They'll kill you before that happens. You know, but they do run the world. The financials, the banks in the world run the world. So anyways, don't matter. But yeah, you're right, man. It's a trip. So what do you think about the weed game? Do you think that the narcos run the weed game in our country still? You think that's true, bud?
No, no.
No. What do you think about I was gonna ask you, brother, because you've been growing a while, right? Your whole life?
Well, 30 some 3 years, 34 years of doing indoor growing. I grew up around
Yeah.
weed.
There you go. You were
I
around
didn't
when
grow it until I was in my
no.
30s.
Okay, brother. Yeah, I didn't grow it till I was later on too, but I wanted to ask you, brother. So you were around in California then too? Have you lived there the whole time, pretty much?
My whole life. Yeah.
Okay, right on. So were you around for the when they had the the surfboard guys and the biker gang, right? Bringing weed on surfboards, right?
Well,
Over.
yeah. I mean, I'm
Can you
familiar
tell
with
us
all
about
that.
that?
Like, I'm a surfer guy, but I was a kid when that type of thing was going on. I mean, a lot of that was
Yeah.
surfboards are easily used, smuggled. A lot
Right.
of that was done before there was such a like customs was not developed like it is now,
Right
you
on.
know.
Yeah.
So that was just a way that they
You could get by.
surfers
Right.
always have access to every continent and everywhere there's waves that break, which is in
Nice.
pretty much everywhere, right?
Right. Yeah. So they would need a place to go. But it was interesting. I wanted to see what your thoughts were. I've listened to a bunch of podcasts, right? On old time genetics, like and the one that was kind of fascinating to me is they were talking about Neville. And the guy really knew Neville. And I'm trying to think of who it was. The last one I listened to. I'll get it for you if you want to know. It was like well, it was one of the last podcasts, POTCAST. If you look on Spotify.
Those are good interviews.
Yeah, you guys have heard them. Yeah, man, those are great, aren't they? Like the one with like the one from Swami, Gas from Swami. I got some of his plants. I got 87, 88 dog bud in my tent right now. Crossed with NL5 haze. Can't wait for that to flower. But that's from Swami. But because of that podcast he talked about. But I wanted to come back with you, Bud. Have you noticed, or do you think that in your experience, because you've been growing longer than any of us here, do you believe that when you start when you start taking clones, that you can only clone the mother for so long and you get this genetic drift? Do you believe that whole idea? What's your opinion?
Because I believe certain varieties have that tendency. Other varieties I have that have stood up over 20 years. But then I've had other varieties that fall off around 7, 8 years. They just lose their vigor. And one of the things I notice is that the ones that stick around are the ones that go through the evolution of single leaf, 3 leaf, 5 leaf before they get back going. And the ones that fall off never have that. They always just keep like whatever 5, 7
number of leaves,
9 leaves, right?
More
of the indica dominant strains, they seem to fall off more than the sativa dominant strains. And
right. So more. Okay, I messed that up. So,
but that's just my experience with the handful of things I've held for over long periods of time.
Nice.
Like I have the forum cut of Girl Scouts since 2014, and I guess now that's 6, 7, 8 years. And that shows no sign of falling off. Right.
Beautiful. How do you
I've
like
had
that
things like Bubba
think of that?
Oh, I love that cut. I love the smoke.
That's what I was hearing.
I mean, it's the original cookie taste or whatever.
Yeah, I did a cross.
I mean, there's better crosses that maybe yield better and look better, but that's the I don't know. It has like a certain taste that once they start crossing it gets diminished.
It gets taken out of there, sure, because the plant can only express so many, right? Wouldn't you say that's more of what it is? Is a plant can only express so many traits, right? It only has so much room to do it, doesn't it? Or what do you think of that? Because aren't all
the law of
hybridized?
DNA, right? I mean, there's expressions, but then when they do pheno hunts and they open up the line, then there's a lot more diversity because of DNA combinations, right?
Yeah,
right on.
And that stuff, I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff for WeedCast, and most of what I know is just what I hear from there.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's like an important part of how the DNA, sometimes recessive traits, which I remember meeting Gene on a thing explaining, and it made me realize that I thought of recessive like more of the dictionary word, what it meant, but when he was explaining it made me realize it's the way they use it in breeding is a little different. It doesn't mean some recessive thing from the past just pops up. It's like I'm not even good at explaining it, but I
kind of know.
He was like it had more to do with the combinations, like like it's recessive because it didn't find its match in the other DNA, and then with like more variety, it will find it.
Yeah, it's a
Something
gene
like
that
that.
produces. Yeah, it's kind of a gene that produces its characteristic phenotype only when its allele is identical. So that's what it says. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, a recessive gene is a gene whose effects are masked by the presence of a dominant gene. Every organism that has DNA packed into chromosomes, I'm reading from the biology dictionary. This isn't me, I'm not that smart. Every organism that has DNA packed into chromosomes has two alleles, forms of a gene for each gene, one inherited from their mother, one from the father. A recessive gene is only expressed when an organism has two recessive alleles for that gene. This is also known as being homozygous, recessive meaning the same, right? That's what homo means, the same, as we know. If an organism has one dominant and one recessive allele, it will show the dominant trait. Ah, there we go. Huh? Right on. That's what Gene was talking about. I remember that on that podcast, right? Wasn't he, Bud? Something like that?
Yeah. He's deep in understanding all that. As a layman, like he even explains, like he's not educated, so he only can understand it to a certain level.
So
I mean, when he starts talking to real botanists and people that are super educated, they have like different terminology. Like a lot of the terminology we use isn't even correct. Like if you were talking to like a educated botanist or whatever, or genealogy or breeder, they would be like, what are you talking about? No, that's not called that. It's called this.
Yeah.
Like, the pistils, installments, like a lot of the things we've, as weed guys, have like kind of got our own verbiage. And he was like explaining, well, as long as people understand each other, that's all that matters. That's what language is. So like the whole idea of like, well, we all got to change and use the right verbiage. That's not maybe necessary. But if you're going to want to talk to and understand the educated people, then you better have your talking. You better understand all the words right.
I think you're right, man. Especially like I was almost getting myself into that pickle jar, wasn't I? But that's why I read from the, you know what I mean? That's why I went to the website, because.
But like amongst regular guys like us growers, we understand each other, even though we might be using words that
are wrong,
are slightly wrong. It's what we know.
Yeah, that's how we've been doing it, and that's.
I mean, even this thing of now, like, oh, we're not supposed to be like indica and sativa. Supposed to be like, I don't know, like,
right?
I mean, maybe like even I realized that, all the people, my patients or whatever you say, they don't like. If I was to explain, don't call it that, and that's no, that the customer base, maybe new customers. Kids, basically, you could educate that way, but people that already like describe their weeds the way they do, indicas and sativas, they're not going to change. I know that's going to make sense to them. That it's fat leaf and thin leaf or whatever we're supposed to, But I do understand technically what they're saying. That I mean, even in the definitions of the words, indica really means of India, right? And the weed is Cannabis sativa, is the actual plant registration in
we call that the genus. Yeah.
Right.
Sativa means cultivated.
True. Yeah. Yes. Yep. And cannabis means it's cultivated cannabis, right? Sativa. Yeah.
There's sativas all over the plant kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. Very well.
Right.
Said, Ryan. Very well said, Ryan.
Cheers, Ryan. Talk, bro.
Right on.
Jump in this combo.
Yeah, Ryan. Let us have it, brother.
Jump in. I tag you in.
What
are you smoking on, brother?
Yeah.
Some GMO that's kind of, I don't know, run of the mill, I guess. Get me stoned, I guess.
Fucking me. Where are you from, Ryan?
I just got Minnesota.
So am I.
Oh,
I just got done from a long day of thrifting, so I got a fucking shitload of pottery I'm going through right now.
My guy, dude, we should hook up sometime, my G.
Where in
Yeah.
the state are you at?
Way up north.
I'm up north. I'm not way up north.
I'm up. I can't really tell you. Let's talk offline though. Where you get it, brother.
Yeah.
Take off to the great white north. Take off.
Well, I grew 30 acres of hemp by Staples last year.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm pretty. We're close to each other then. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna say. Yeah, brother. I'm actually real close. That's cool. Are you still up there? Is it a farm up where you doing?
I'm in the
hemp up there?
neighborhood. I'm in the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah. No. I appreciate that. Shit. Look at me. I'm not trying to get you caught up either, homie. Sorry about that, home. Yeah. No shit. Yeah, that's cool. Did you like it? Did it work well? Where'd you by
Yeah,
a swamp?
that's a
Or?
long story. I don't want to get into the story right now. I'll be here all night.
Oh no. Not a worry. How'd it go? Okay,
No, it was
there,
fun.
shitty.
It was a good experience.
Oh yeah, I bet it was. 30 acres. Holy, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Nice job. Fucking right. It's funny. Did you see what?
What's a hectare? Is a hectare 25 square acres? Is that
Hectare
a
is
hectare?
80 acres.
Oh, 80
Right.
square. Well, that's a lot.
I could be wrong, but
Right. Yeah, no, I think you're right. 80 acres sounds right. That sounds right. Or the only reason
half
it
a
may be
square.
40 though. Huh?
I
Sorry.
think it's half a square. Well, 40 acres it's a mile
Square.
all the way around that perimeter.
It's a square. Yep. 40 acres is a square mile. Yep. So that's why I thought that might be a hectare, but then why wouldn't
I
it be
think
an
a hectare
acre?
is 80 acres.
I think
But
you're
I don't know.
right. Hecta means 8. You're right. That means 8. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should,
Yep.
I,
Sorry.
yeah, we should all know that. I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it.
Right on. Right, bud. I know. You don't use those terms, hecta, octa. Octa is 8.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Hecta must be
Well, wait.
9 then. Wait, or 10. Wait.
Hectare is 7 maybe, and that's what a stop sign is.
A hexagon.
Hexagon is 6.
Hexa
That's right.
is 6.
Hex is 6.
Hex is 6. So then is hecta 7? Dude, I can't.
I'm
70 acres. I'm gonna look it up now. A hectare. I'll look it up. I think it's metric. I don't even. Hectare.
27,000 baht.
What is it?
No, I don't know. I guess
Hectare is 1.5. A hectare is 1.5
Didn't I get
square
you
inch.
the same thing with that doctor, the bot conversion one during our episode?
120 bots.
Uh,
a hectare is 2.4 acres.
Yep, 100 meters.
but
100
a
meters squared. Sorry, go ahead, brother. You do it.
Well, I'm not.
No, I was looking up Wikipedia. So hectare in the Wikipedia says it is. Oh no, I don't want. I already gave to you guys. Come on, put it. I gave to you guys already. The hectares. Let's see. Equal to a square of 100 meter sides. So, like you're saying, like with a plot, right? A plot is 40 acres, right? 1 mile square. So on each corner of the square is a mile. Each side of the square is a mile.
A
So
section.
then-
I'm thinking a section is 80 acres.
Right.
I don't know why I got that
Yeah.
mixed up.
A section is 40
Whatever
acres.
I Googled says that 10,000 people fit into a hectare.
Let's have a party. I like that, bud. Yeah.
So if you're
Let's
at a
bring the weed.
concert with 70,000 people, you need 7 hectares.
100 square meters or 100 squared, 1 square decameter. And the hectare
Well,
was thus
that
100.
math is just saying that each person needs 1 square meter. I guess their space.
Yeah, with the metric system. Oh, it is metric, right? So in 1795, it was introduced. The R was defined as 100 square, or 1 square decameter, and the hectare is a hecto plus R, which was Thus 100 or 100. I don't 10,000 square meters. Shit, that's a lot. 10,000 square meters. Exactly. Fuck, I don't know. Hey, that's a lot, or 100 meters squared. Yeah, 100 meters per side is what it is, Ryan. You know, if you took a square and you drew it on a piece of paper, it's 100 meters on each side of that square.
Yeah. And a
It's a
40-acre
lot of.
plot is a mile or a quarter mile on each side.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, so a hectare is really only 2.4
Acres. Right?
acres. It's not that big.
No.
2.47. Right?
I'm thinking of some other unit of measurement that I can't think of right now.
But
Well, so I imagine like in countries that fully metric, then when someone sells the property, they don't call it acres, they call it hectares, right? Like, oh, I have a hectare piece of, your house has a hectare, that'd be like 2.5 acres, right?
Right. I think they use like acres. No, like my house,
Yeah.
I live on like 1.5 acres, right?
Well, here
Where
in
I
the
live.
US where we're like anti-metric, but the rest of the world's on metric, so they don't use any of the descriptions other than metric, right?
Right. Sure. Exactly. Yeah, we're actually not metric, aren't we? We're we're still on that.
As of January 2010, the EU
2020.
replaced the acre or replaced the hectare with the acre. So they've been
Did
going
they now?
by the acre for a dozen years.
By the hectare.
Well, most likely because like you kind of need a
We're going by
smaller
the hectare.
measurement to
Now everyone's on the
measure
acre.
land.
because they kept getting it confused with some homeboy named Hector. They're like, it's not Hector, dog. They're like, it's fucking not Hector, dog. It's not him. It's not his
Oh,
land
shit,
anymore.
that's hilarious. Green figures, that shit's funny. That was like, I don't know. You know how you get on the end of you get the buzz, right? You get a head rush, right? You know what I mean, guys? And then it's funny, and then you get a head rush. You know what I'm talking about? That just happened. That was great.
Yeah,
Perfect
I was
timing, green fingers.
hey, that's what I
Yeah,
try. Well, that's my stick.
right on. Are you a Rasta man? I see you got a Rasta flag. You're a Jamaican flag, is it?
No, I had that since I was a kid. My
I love it.
mom gave me that when I was like 14. I don't even know.
Your mom was cool, bro.
However, she was like, yeah, good pothead.
Hell yeah, man. Is she still around?
Yeah, she kicks it.
See?
She's supposed to
See,
come over sometime this week.
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, how many guys have you seen your age, right, who drink, right, and don't smoke weed, that are dying of the fucking disease, right, or dying of old age and their Alzheimer's, right, your age, versus you, and you're probably doing real well smoking your weed, right? You don't have any. You look like you're healthy as hell, right?
Yeah, I
bet
don't
you.
know about healthy, but I'm doing all right. But
Well, you look good,
and
dude.
I don't
know.
really know people that don't smoke weed. Like I just like thought for myself, who do I know? No, and a few people drink, but most of them as older they only drink a little. I don't know anybody that really drinks a lot.
Right on. Thanks, Ray. Oh yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
do I? Yeah, we
You're-
have one friend. Yeah, but no one's talking to him because he does stupid shit. Like, even though he didn't do it to me, my best friend was giving him a ride after a show, and somehow he took my friend's phone and threw it out on the freeway. And he was blacked out drunk, and I won't take his call for about a month now. Because there's like no excuse. Like, oh, that ain't the
I
first
know.
drunken thing he's done. But like, yeah, like that.
I know, man. I got friends like that too. Only sadly they just think they can say anything they want, right? You know what I mean? And I kind of got them on that right now. It's like, right on, cool, Ryan. I just followed you, G. Nice, thank you, sir. And I gotta follow you guys. I'm not going on Instagram. I'm on this thing all the time. You know, I never was on this thing before I got in the community, and now I'm on this thing every day. What's up? I don't get it, but
Same here. I had these accounts when I had this business, but my guy, I didn't even know my logins or passwords. But then when COVID came around, I like got my password, and then like I guess I used YouTube and Instagram more than like anything else. Like no more. I don't even watch TV anymore. I used to. I fucking can't remember the last time I turned it on. Well, it's on, but like the cable TV part, no, I don't even watch that anymore. For like 3 years.
still hear me all right? Yeah. Okay.
I
Oh, there it
sometimes I
is.
wonder, did they ever find the gold over there on that what was that island that those guys were looking for this treasure for all those years? Oak Island or something. I remember watching
Right.
that show. And it just became like I at
My
one point I
favorite show.
realized they're never gonna find anything
They
because then
found
the
all
show would
kinds of
end.
shit this week.
Oh, they did? What I
Yeah,
miss? What I miss?
they've found a bunch of shit the last few years, dating back to even further than they thought.
That's crazy. Isn't that story crazy?
I actually think they're gonna find it. It's offshoot. They found a chamber. They actually found another what they're calling the garden chamber now, which are restoring basically, which they believe is going to take them to the offset chamber. But even with
Well,
that said, they found a shit ton of artifacts.
here's
Lot.
the part that I just think would be the obvious thing. There's this guy that's an ex-slave, black guy that then owned those parcels. I forget his name, right? Whatever years ago. But he went from being an ex-slave to one of the richest people in the region or something. Well, obviously he found the money or he found some part of the treasure or something. Like I think that would be the place I would, because how did you go from being a freed slave to buying this little parcel to being like so wealthy? You know the story, you know that part of it. That was like at the beginning. I forget his name, but it's a real person that
Sure.
that lived on those and they were investigating his land a little bit, but I guess because of
He was the rich, ended up being the richest slave. And he owned a piece of the land there.
And it seems like he might have like got lucky and found something once really upon a time.
Really well. Yeah.
I mean, that to me was the logical thing. Like, well, if nothing's still here, somebody found it. But maybe they'll find it. It seems at this point with modern technology and mining and all that, if there was really something down there, they would have excavated it and got it or not. You know, how many years has this been going on? 9 years of this show?
So 10th season, something like that.
Hey, like I say, I don't watch TV anymore, but every once in a while I think about Oak Island. And if they found it, I'm glad to hear they're doing something good there. Because they had a lot of setbacks, and just when they thought they were going to find it, they didn't. And, you know all
right. I don't actually. I just first time I've heard about the show. I've been living in a cave or something. I used to hear about this stuff.
High-rated cable show for a lot of years now. Like, because
really? Nice.
There's a couple offshoots because it seems like the public or people that watch, I'm one of them, like the whole idea of a treasure. Like if there's like some lost treasure, oh, that intrigues people, right? Any of those stories.
I question why I do some things over and over and over, but Watch Oak Island isn't one of them.
Yeah, I mean, out of the reality shows, it was a good one. Like it held up. Like a lot of them. Well, by the second or third season, you've seen the guy cut down the tree for the 50,000th time. Like, how entertaining is that? But Oak Island, there's always some other, you never know what's going to happen. A lot of reality shows become too repetitive, And those are the ones that only make it a couple seasons and they go away.
We just had a pickup truck go through the ice couple like 20 miles from here. Kind of like ice road truckers. It's just ice
Well,
idiots.
that show was gnarly. Like
Happens
I
all
watched
the time.
a few episodes of Ice Road Truckers, and I realized, holy shit, those guys are fucking gnarly driving in under those kind of conditions, and how important those loads were to these little villages
they're all
and
nice
stuff.
and warm in their company cockpits.
Yeah, but those roads and crossing the ice and that seemed pretty gnarly, dude.
Shit, that's the crazy ass show, bro.
So the up north in northern Minnesota, they got a place called Bemidji. Yeah. And they have cars go through the ice all the time, And actually, interesting thing about that city is I read, Ryan, did you see that in there where they put an injunction against that place up there for selling death by gummies? Did you guys hear about this nonsense?
I didn't.
So,
Is it on the res?
okay. No, it's in Bemidji. It's right in Bemidji.
Oh, that's all res land up there.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Bemidji's not res land. It's actually outside of below Red Lake and not quite Leech Lake. So anyways, yeah, so no, this is in the city, right, where they sell a dispensary type of thing, but they don't have dispensaries, right? They have fucking tobacco shops and they sell fucking.
They have dispensaries too. I have a buddy that has a strictly CBD dispensary.
Oh yeah, up there, sure.
Yeah, they exist.
Well,
there's some chains too. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
The CBD store.
Yeah,
I think it's one of them that's got half a dozen stores.
Yeah, and some other guys are trying to do that. I don't even want to mention them. We'll have to talk offline. Yeah, but just no, there's some good stuff going on in the state. Don't get me wrong, but there's also some interesting stuff going on. Like these guys got these things called death by gummies. They're claiming that some kid is claiming, or whoever, not him, but his relatives are claiming he died by eating these things. And I'm like, bullshit. No one dies by cannabis. Never happened. Never will. And but they claim he died by eating these things called death by gummies. So it's this big woohoo. I guess it's been happening in Virginia, and not Minnesota, but Virginia.
So wait, people are making gummies and putting bad things in it that hurt people?
They're loading them. Yep, they're super loading them with distillates so that they're super strong, and so they're like 30 times stronger.
Is this since the THC law that
THC
derived from hemp?
Be correct. In our state, you can only kind of THC you can sell unless you're a medical dispensary, and that's a sham in this state. But that's not a conversation for now.
Yeah,
only two companies.
Drove by a Rise dispensary. I just drove by a Rise dispensary and flicked them off.
Good for you, because he feels like I do. He understands.
It seems like the states that resist the cannabis movement end up with more fucked up shit with like weird drug like products and shit that's legal, but it's like actually not good for you.
It's just waiting for the big companies to milk the money.
Exactly, they're waiting to line it up, aren't they, Ryan?
Yeah, they're like it's ridiculous. I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, you just wait till already off.
Well, it seems like some states have this strategy where they're gonna hold out until it's like big corporate, and they can bring in a big corporation to do their weed in their state. They're never gonna want to like have the messes that the states have with like individuals who own licenses.
That's what Rise dispensaries and Canopy Growth are doing with the whole country. I mean, all the states that have just the medical, they're usually pay by play or pay to play kind of.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
They
I
just
mean,
bought out the companies out here.
And
when
like
those
our weird THC law, I think it's because all these big fucking institutions that were doing, 80 acre, hundreds of acres of CBD that have all this flower that's sitting there worthless.
Going to
They can't make CBD, or there's no buyers for
Right.
the CBD, so they've figured out a
Exactly.
way to make a lot of fucking distill the THC out of it.
Yep. And so they can just skirt around the fucking law, jump and stay within the hemp law. And then you got these fools, right, Ryan? Go ahead.
I don't know,
well,
it's
and
all
those companies
No,
you
he's
list
got it
are
right.
like
He's right. You're 100%
billion
right, buddy.
dollar stock plays, right?
Ryan's right on it.
That actually been operating at a loss, like massive losses, like Canopy, like hundreds of millions of dollars a year, because but that's all part of their plan. Like they have enough money to weather that, because
Corporate
they're
same with like
they
organic
definitely
in Canada.
they definitely are
operating
gonna
the
have a seat at the table. That, I mean, for them to have like paid John Boehner, the ex-Speaker of the House of the Republican side, to be on their board, like, that's probably $175,000, $200,000 salary for him to be on that board or whatever.
Well,
The only reason you would do that is because that man could still walk right into the Capitol and talk to other fucking people in there.
Our first pay to play was, or our first there's two companies that were allowed to grow medical marijuana in the state, and one of them is fucking nuts, but the other one, but Green Thumb Industries, they bought theirs from the first company that was allowed it was owned by a former governor's or former senator's family, the Bachman Floral.
Yeah, Bachman, the Bachmans who owned Bachman Floral. Talk about a chain. They had a fucking chain. They had a Bachman Floral in every city in Minnesota.
Yeah, they're the largest florist or whatever, and they're owned by the family of Michelle Bachman, who was a senator.
Of course. Yep. So so imagine that a senator got to be monopolized on cannabis in our state, and they still are making billions of dollars a year. Two companies in the state, Eagle, own the dispensaries.
I think my former bosses are family with a senator from North Dakota,
but wait, they're not really dispensaries, right? It's only CBD derived product.
Oh no, these are the medicals we're talking about. They have two chains of medical dispensaries.
And is it grown in state or is it imported?
Yeah,
grown in state.
Yeah,
but it's
boof. It's fucking boof.
Yeah, and you have, I mean, you can go pretty much. It's like California back in the day, where you can basically get if you feel bad that you're out of weed, they'll give you a weed card. But
They'll do what?
They'll give you a card, or they'll give you a prescription.
Well, wait, no one gives you anything. They probably charge you $100 or $200.
Yeah, no, that's it.
$400 a year. $400
you got to pay to have your yearly license, and then. Oh, is it? I thought it was. Well, I guess I don't know.
No, it's 200. No, you got 200 to see the doc, because I'm a medical patient. 200 to see the doc, and then you got to pay 200 to the state for the right to buy the weed from the dispensary.
I used to buy an overpriced friend. Know this guy, this old hippie that
great.
He brought a lawsuit against California. I think he ends up winning it, where like he had a medical card, but then it expired, and then they gave him a charge, and he argued all the way up to Supreme Court that, like, what kind of a doctor can diagnose you, and then, like, what, the diagnosis has like an expiration date and you have to pay to be diagnosed again, right? Like, hey, if you go in and they tell you have diabetes,
there's laws on the
you have diabetes. It's not like, oh, well, you got to pay me again for me to tell you have diabetes. You know what I mean? Like that concept, the legal concept of like, wait, like, and that was really the doctors that created that thing. They could have signed the thing, and that would have been a one-time thing, and it lasts you your whole fucking life, right? Like, why would it need to be renewed every year? That was just a way to make money.
Of course. But I mean, in most states too, but in Minnesota, there's laws on the books that hint towards that. I mean, just as long as you're growing for yourself and you're using it for medical reasons or for religious reasons, It's perfectly legal. Just as long as when they start to suspect you of selling it or of yeah, pretty much just that. I mean,
Well, ultimately, I mean,
kind of a
even
funny
the
case that
biggest
comes from.
criminals in our history, they could never get them on anything other than tax evasion, which is a real thing. Like, so anything you do, whether you're growing avocados and selling them and not paying taxes, or weed, you're not paying taxes, many things, that's a serious thing. And they will fuck you over if they can catch you doing that.
Yeah, not paying your taxes on your weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like right now, that's the issue with what's considered legal market and the black market, right? It's like, oh, the
Right.
black
They're
market
mad about
doesn't
the taxes.
exactly. Now
What's
they would be
ironic?
better off. I mean, even though it doesn't get a lot of publicity, but years ago there was people that said that the best method, at least in California, would have been to just legalize it and allow it to be sales taxed and income taxed, right? And you would actually, the estimates are you would bring in more tax dollars that way than the way they're doing it, right? Because, yeah, most people that live in the black market, if they could just put the number down on their tax at the end of the year, they would. Because, like, I know from my own life, yeah, funny money's like just that. Like there's laws that keep you from being able to like bring it into ownership. Like ultimately where you want to be in life is ownership class, right? Well, try to take money from the outside world and bring it in the inside world. Oh no, that's what an escrow is. Like that's like all those laws and escrows, not just cannabis money, any money that's from bootlegging, any number of things. They have a lot of laws that make it very hard to use that money in without, getting flagged. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can bring it in. It's easy. Pay 30% roughly. And so if you got $1 million stashed under your bed, well, and you want to buy a piece of property, well, you really only have 700,000. That's the game.
So, yeah. So how could a guy, what if a person, I wonder how those governing institutions, if we want to call them that, how would a person, I've heard of people saying that, well, if you include the income under another business or you include it underneath a different business, maybe an umbrella business, right? But you still claim the income and your deductions, even though it's a black market business, they'll be happy with that. They'll be fine with that.
Yeah,
They'll
no,
never question
dude,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't care. Like, no one really cares where your money comes from. They don't care where
As
the
long as you
money
pay
comes
your
from.
taxes, they don't give a shit,
That's
right?
it. That's the golden rule of being a United States citizen, right?
Yeah. And I
Pay
just
your
think that's it.
taxes. Even after you die, they keep taxing you.
And that's some funny stuff, you know? It's
Well, I mean, that's what this is really all about. Like, look, considering reefer madness and all the propaganda for 100 years, nowhere in this is our government or even any of the states saying, yeah, we were wrong and this was all wrong and this was all propaganda. Sorry. And now we're fixing it. No, they're basically just going, oh, there's a lot of money and we need our piece of it. That's it. It's not like they embraced that cannabis is a good medicine, that it could, it would probably reduce a lot of other problems we have: alcoholism, drug abuse, mental illness. They're not addressing any of that, right? They're still trying to prove you can OD on it.
Yeah, reefer madness. Here we go.
So, but that's not like surprising because like not just our government, governments in history never admit they're wrong, no matter what atrocities they've done. But that's also why history repeats itself, right? Because even in your personal life, unless you can like, you know, like face up to your wrong and all that, well, you're never going to grow. You just keep repeating the same shit, right? And not the lesson. Even on at a government thing, like so many of our issues, not to get too political, yeah, we can't even admit our wrong, and then that's why they just become this lingering thing that never goes away. Like history keeps repeating itself, you know what I mean? Until you like actually go, oh, we were wrong. This is what's right. We got to go on the right path. And no, and even people don't always like to like admit they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of like drug addiction, and even when you first go to rehab, trying to like get you to understand, like, yeah,
what's honest.
You know, you got to admit your wrongs, right?
Rigorously honest.
Once. Yep. I was wrong once. I thought I was wrong one time.
Once, yeah, I get it. But like on an institutional level, government, that's a big thing. And to me, like,
it is.
Yeah, I don't know, like, what do you call it? Well, already they honestly, it's sort of retribution because that's what the equity licenses are. Like almost all these states have a thing where it's like, oh, well, if you were a victim of the war on crime, you get to go the front of the line or some shit. Like those people have the millions of dollars to be at the front of the line. But that's the beginning of that sort of them going, well, there was a wrong here. That's how we're going to try to, but that's bullshit, right? Like they need to really do it at a much bigger level, right? Because yeah, there's still a good part of our country that thinks weed's a bad drug because the rhetoric of all that's still being taught and passed on, you know,
being perpetuated, which is propaganda. Let's get real. I mean, they're trying to take it from us, you know, a song by Mendo, right? Those I remember and still do listen to that, all that music, and those guys are like
Stand
heroes.
your ground.
What's that, brother?
I said stand your ground.
That's right. Stand your ground, man.
And now that the California's thing is coming up on 5 years old, there's enough public data of where the tax dollars are being spent, right? And like amazing amount of it is being funneled right back to the police.
Of course it is.
And all these things, like in this weird way for whatever reason, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's like justice system. That's a oxymoron.
Well, even in California, the legal system, like actually, like when they go
an oxymoron too,
and find an illegal grow, what really hits them and where the fines and what like stops it comes from the environmental thing, where they have all these rules about watershed and all environmental stuff. So when you look at this tax base, oh, guess who gets a lot of money? Oh, the environmental agencies who when there's a bust or whatever, they're on site because it's their
money,
fines, civil fines and stuff. Like, oh, at this point it's $10,000 a day till you clean this shit up, and ridiculously high fines when they mostly environmental stuff, because it's not like they come anymore and say, all right, everyone, you're going to jail. We have a case against you. That rarely happens.
That's not what they do anymore.
But the I guess the legal, penalties all come from environmental things, whether it's indoor grows or big outdoor grows. Because even in a few years, most places have like made new rules. Like up north, the watershed. It's like, you can't. It's not like you're polluting. You're not even polluting. It's just you're using water, and that's like, wait. That part of this comes out of the drought laws, the drought rules and shit. So like People can't
That's
even use
crazy.
water. You know what I'm saying? Unless
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
I
a
do.
permit and all this stuff, right?
So what I'm hearing you say is what we really are seeing here is we're really seeing exploitation by law, and we're seeing legalized criminality within the left wing fascists that we call the
Well,
government. Right?
and the investor class is also the
True.
donators to these. Like, look,
Oh yeah, they
here's like
are.
on a okay, as bad as our system is, the voice is money through lobbyists that then get
Yep.
to congressional people, senators, even at state
They get to
level
pay
and the
them.
federal level. Okay,
Right, give
so
them a
the
payoff.
federal government, Congress and Senate have
There you
been
go.
negotiating a cannabis bill. Some of it's been made public. It's been tossed around now for a few years.
Right.
There's across our country, each state has a few operators that are in the hundreds of millions of dollars making money. Jungle Boys, Cookies, I don't know, names across the country. Those groups
Right.
should all be donating
Millions.
to like a, what do you call it? A PAC, right?
Right.
PAC, right?
To legalize.
Big money.
Right?
Oh yeah, they would ask us for our little $10 contributions too, but they would have to, they're the guys making all the money, put up most of the money. For then we had lobbyists that were representing whatever our thing.
Right.
One, those operators, they can't even agree amongst themselves on like 10 principles that they would lobby for, right? Because they're all got their
They're
own
all
battles,
egos.
right?
They're egos.
But don't
Yeah.
think that all these other industries that we're concerned about taking over don't have their lobbyists there every day of the week.
Yes,
right?
sir. Now,
Tobacco
isn't it all
industry,
about the
pharmaceutical
money too,
industry. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
right, bud?
even this year, I never thought of it this way till people smarter than me said this on YouTube and stuff. Biden's saying we need to reclassify it off Schedule 1. Yeah, fuck. Why should it be on
Let's
Schedule 1?
go. Shouldn't
But
be
if
on
you-
a schedule, but whatever.
Okay, that's
my
what
opinion.
we should be lobbying for, because
Fuck yeah.
any of the other Schedule 2, 3, and 4
They're all
basically
inactive.
gives the FDA full authority, because now it's
That's right.
okay, we got what we wanted. Now they're going to call it a medicine. Well, no medicine
Right.
can be produced in this country that the FDA doesn't control, regulate,
Prove and control.
all that. And if you
Yes,
think
sir.
the cannabis board in your state is corrupt
Is
with
gonna
these
miss it.
taxes, wait till the FDA shows up
Oh
with
my
their
God.
bullshit.
And they're boys,
Right.
and they're fat boys. Yeah. Because they'll
Yeah,
come in and
and-
say, no, we need
And
more
that's
money.
like this circle jerk where like all the head people in the FDA get hired out of Pfizer and all those companies, and then they work for whatever time in the government, and then when they leave, they go right back to like high level jobs inside the pharmaceutical industry. It's like
That's a fact.
like obvious what's going on there.
Jesus.
And
It is. It's really
that's
a
like
joke.
all of a sudden we would think, oh great, they're finally gonna take it off Schedule 1, which it should never have been on. Like
Never.
Schedule 1, this is legal stuff, has like a list of things, criteria you have to meet to be on Schedule 1. One is that it has no medical applications. Our own government has held patents for the medical applications of
So what a bunch of
cannabis
hypocrites.
for like 50 years.
4 minute warning,
But
boy.
But then are also like saying that it has no medical application. Like it's pretty crazy shit.
It is crazy. Because how can you patent something that doesn't exist? Oh, if it does exist, then it doesn't apply to this. And you can't
But
call it a
from-
Schedule 1 drug.
But
You know what
like
I'm saying?
like
you
them
can't-
just deciding to make it
coexist.
Schedule 2 or 3 or whatever, that actually will have probably worse consequences for
Yes, it will. For
cannabis
us.
community. Yeah.
For us. Yeah, it will.
And patients and people that use it as
True.
medicine and stuff.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because then the FDA is going to have to get involved.
Well,
And then you're
they'll
going to have
try
to have all that fuckery.
once they're in the game, they're gonna
Oh.
they're gonna try to like, what do you call it? Disprove the simple
Yes.
things like FICO and just like that have effects. They're going to try to make it like, oh, unless it's this complicated pill we created, right? It's not effective, right?
Yes.
And you know, like, oh, you can't make it at home. It's not the same, or what, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And then what's going to happen then? Because that's where we got to really, a lot of these guys are like, well, you know, I want to keep, so two things I wanted to mention and go into this here, Bud, because you're on to some, you're right. I agree with you 1,000%. And anybody that looks and gets educated about the system and actually opens their eyes and talks to enough people and has been around as long as you have, will see exactly what you're talking about. The piece that interests me and as far as like what I started thinking about as you were talking is follow the money, right? Follow the money. So my thought was, well, the guy with the biggest money wins. So yes, I still believe this, but even bigger than the PACs, even bigger than these lobbyists, right? Money they're throwing in the senators' pockets. Believe me, they're taking that shit in the left pocket. But you know what they're taking in the right pocket or the back pocket that's keeping it the thing illegal? All the money from the black market. Because you can bet your ass, boy, they're getting paid off on the backside a hell of a lot more than they're getting paid on the front side, or they'd make the shit legal. You feel me, bud? They're getting paid.
Well, I've
know what
read
I mean?
some books
Somebody.
from like
That's my
economic
theory.
books over the years, and
Right
not
on.
all economic guys will write about what they call the vice economy and its role
There it
in
is.
the world, right? But
Yes, sir.
like, it's an important thing for, like, especially when you have as much poor and as we do in the world, because that's how people like get by. That's how they get $1 a day or whatever it is to survive. And and in this black economy for 100 years or longer, cannabis is in there, but it's on the, as far as I can list, the only thing that doesn't have bad mojo to it. Any other part of that economy is either prostitution, human trafficking, gambling, other drugs that have, you know, ruined people and all that.
Well, Mexico has fueled a lot of cartel shit too.
Well,
Just
but
play the devil's advocate on you.
ultimately, like,
no, they do,
even,
Ryan. Good point.
even the legal market's taking away the
That's
person
true.
that sold nickel bags and anybody that was a middleman and all these things. Even now that the crunch is on, trimming and labor, like, part of the law when they first passed it, the rhetoric on the TV was that it was going to create all these jobs. Well, now it's 5 years later and the industry's under pressure, so they're eliminating a lot of jobs. Okay, right? So like, just like all the other industries, like, oh, we used to have great industries in our country, but they got raped and pillaged by these Wall Street fuckers, and that's what's happening here.
420, cheers.
Cheers, Ryan. We should talk offline, my G. Definitely want to connect with you, my brother. I sent you an Instagram request, so yeah, shoot me up there. We'll trade contacts. How about?
Sounds good.
Yeah, my guy. Eagle, what's up? He's been so quiet over there.
It's been a night.
Yeah, how you doing
Text
over
with
there?
my old friend Fumador.
Oh yeah, I guess
Tell me about that.
he got knocked off the air.
I'm missing him tonight.
Oh,
unfortunate.
Well,
Really?
I mean, I was on
that.
when
I
it
just
happened.
texted him that and told him that, by the way. I'm missing him.
Like, that story's crazy because, like, he had his show last night, and at some point it was off YouTube. And when he looked into what happened 2 years ago, Thanksgiving, on a show which was 5 hours long, I guess there's some report somebody made of whatever, like, most likely just a hater, but it took YouTube 2.5 years.
They can go back the whole distance. I get it all the time. It happens all the time. All it takes is one asshole to go back. I'm not even giving the recipe. Not even.
No,
Well,
brother, don't do it.
I didn't
What?
understand
Good
We
any
are
of that.
running past the 20, and this does wrap up this episode. So thank you guys for
Yeah.
fucking hanging out. Appreciate it. It's time for the shout outs.
I appreciate you, Eagle. Because, like, yeah, the person that sits in your chair or Fumi's chair has to deal with that type of thing, which, like, I didn't really understand how all that worked until it was explained to me. And I was like, holy shit, that's really fucked up. It's a fucked up system you have to deal with.
Unfortunately, that's, we try to sit here and be cool as much as we can, but we're responsible for every fucking word that's being said. Everything's being said in chat. You know what I mean? We take a risk.
Right.
And one of your comments could take out our channel just like that. You know what I mean? It's a risk that we all take. You're right.
Okay.
So
I got to be more mindful of that, man. I hope I didn't get you in any trouble, brother.
no.
I don't know if I went too stretchy on something. Let me know.
I
Like,
know, I
curb my
know my limits, or what I think are my limits anyway. But
Yeah, I mean, there's certain areas that are like, you can't go there, like threats, violence, certain things. Those are the big mammy jammies.
Right on. Yeah, and I think if you are showing a lot of product and stuff, they could get freaked out over that, right? Too Eagle. They don't like a lot of demons.
it's not so much that anymore. It's going through processes, explaining processes, how to processes and stuff like that. You go out and something they're worried about, like you go out and do something stupid and somebody comes back and says, well, I'd seen it and learned it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
On this guy's video, blah blah blah. Okay. All right, now I understand.
That's what happened to that guy, Pharmacopoeia Hamilton. Like, he had that network show, and then he was literally giving out exactly, and then they wouldn't renew him. Actually, the government gave A&E an issue about it, so now he just does it on YouTube, but he still does the same thing, but just on YouTube. Yeah. Like, if you're chemically inclined, he gave you the basic recipe to everything on every one of those shows.
There's been a few things on this show that's been divulged too during some intro episodes and a few episodes.
Well, some of this is like, wait, don't we have free speech? And like, where do they draw the line on that? Like, holy shit, I don't think we really have it, because there's so many restrictions on it, whether it's this, that, or the other.
Well, guys, we do got to wrap it up. I'm going to whip through these shout outs probably faster than I've ever had before.
That's all right. All right, everyone. Have a good weekend.
You got it,
We'll see you around. Yeah. Good talking, everyone.
Yes, Humidor would say, everyone, don't be dicks. Go to chronictable.com and buy some Morgana and make the guy put a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Going auto.
I want to shout out to everybody here, and I especially Eagle again, same reason. Brother, the love you show people is incredible, and the love you show for this plant is infectious. And I want you to know, I so appreciate it. I remembered, I'm like, wait a minute, it's Wednesday night. I can go on a show. And how awesome of you. Thank you. Shout out to everyone in the live. I can't see the comments, or I'd do the shout outs, brother, but I just want to shout out Mendo Dope as well. Keeping up the vibe, keeping Fine alive, right? Shout out to the people in Michigan, the shout out to the people in California, and the shout out to all the OGs growing in the blackout areas. Because if it isn't for those folks, we got to fight for them, right, Eagle? Because isn't that when we lose it, when they start taking our rights, legally taking our rights, then what are they going to do? So this is really a fight for our right to stay healthy and well, guys. That's why I fight, and I will die to fight that battle. So bless you guys. Thanks for having me in. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, for popping in. I was just looking over. It looks like I am not doing the shout outs because somehow or another they are fucking wet and these sheets are so frail. I'm afraid to move them around and flip them because they may fall apart.
Oh no.
So I kind of got to just leave them laid out and let them dry.
You had stuff written down? Oh, I'm sorry, Chief.
Mm.
Did you spill something?
I've
Spill
got
something?
some backed up.
All right.
Bummer.
Hang in there, G.
Well, thank you, my friend. It is a
I
bummer.
love you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Hey, much love. Mr. Greenfingers, you're cool shit, homie. I like you, dog.
You're awesome, man.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Right on. So what do? We just shut her down now, huh?
Well, we one by one exit.
Oh, I'm out of here. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
you're out of here. You said goodbye.
You're out of here.
Get the hell out of here, dog. Damn.
Have a good night. Oh yeah, everybody. Well, first of all, thanks Eagle for having us on this Wednesday early show. Yeah, love you, bro. Thanks for everything.
Love you
Appreciate
too.
it. Everybody go plant some seeds. Fucking hell yeah. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Man, I am super bummed about my fucking shout outs list being wet. Ugh, that's not good. Not good. With that being said, hopefully Boomdor does get his channel back up and running. Shout out to Boomdor. I've had nothing but respect for him over the years and still do. Look at this fucking shit. With that being said, if this is the end of your day, your journey, please get some rest. If this is the beginning of your day, your journey, well, then please take time out to do something nice for yourself. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I'm a living, breathing example of that. With that being